this video, I'll show you how to make the best tank build in Skyrim. A tank isn't just an indestructible armored behemoth, but also something that can shoot. So what if we made that literal? This build is all about survivability, heavy armor and rapid fire archery. Let's roll out! The first thing we're gonna do is create a wood elf. I named him Bartholomew. We then escape Helgen as we normally would, making sure to join Ralof, since this route guarantees a set of heavy armor that we can rest from the dying corpses of the Legion. Near the end of the cave, there's a small group of legionnaires, one of which will have a longbow. That's ours now. It's then time to resurface. Always make sure to check the unmarked Shrine of Talos when you venture out of Helgen. You never know if you might find something that actually fits your playstyle for once. Activate the Thief Stone and make your way to the Flawless Emerald for some starting cash. When we're in Riverwood, we're going to recruit Faendal the Wood Elf to our cause. For one, he can train us in archery and he's also quite powerful for an early game companion. The next step is traveling to Riften, as we can get a set of free Orcish armor at Largeshbur. If you do this before level 9, no one will be present, which makes stealing it even easier. Now traditionally, this stronghold is locked, only opening up after you start a quest. What the government doesn't want you to know is that you can just use the western side to climb over. So we got our exterior for our tank, but now we need something to shoot with.
Wow, a gun! I wonder if it's loaded.
For now, we can steal the elven bow that is located in the basement of the companions. It's in a locked showcase, but the actual bow clips out of it, so you can just take it. We then travel to Markarth to buy a doggy. We'll be using him to soak up damage, and when that proves too much, for sustenance. It's then time to get the bow we'll be using for the rest of the build. To this end, we make our way to Arkansas. This is where the quest Lost to the Ages can be started. At some point in the dungeon, you'll be accosted by Katria, and she will serve as a guide for the remainder of the dungeon. This place can be quite dangerous at early levels, exactly why we have some heavy armor and Faendal at our side. Further down, you'll encounter some chorus, which should mean your death at lower levels, but if we use Command Animal, the Wood Elf's racial perk, they'll either leave us alone, or Faendal will get to prove his survival skills. In any case, we can proceed. At some point, Katria will remark that her bow is out on the tree that is hanging over a ledge. This is not just any bow. The Zephyr is a unique dwarven bow that shoots 30% faster than all other bows. This should give you enough power to continue the main quest and clear out Bleakfall's Barrow, after which you'll be free to get your first dragon kill. After this fight, it turns out that you are in fact the last Dragonborn of Legend. This will set you on the path of the main quest. The first step is training with the Greybeards. They'll give you some free shouts and teach you how to use them, including Unrelenting Force, which will never not be funny. At this point, we're sent to Oostengraaf to retrieve the horn of Jurgen Windcaller. When we complete this task, Greybeards recognize us as the true Dragonborn. Fun fact! If you return the horn of Jurgen Windcaller to its rightful place, you'll actually receive a dragon soul in return, and we'll be putting those to good use. Our next stop is Solitude. When you enter for the first time, you'll witness an execution, which is not only hilarious, you can also wrest an amulet of Talos from the victim's body. We then sign up to join the Imperial Legion, and the Civil War questline sets us on the path of unlocking the Jagged Crown, which is located in Kentucky. After completing the dungeon, you'll be entrusted to return the Jagged Crown to General Tullius. We're never gonna do that. This helm has the same defensive capabilities of an unmodified Daedric helm. Not only that, in the Kentucky dungeon, you'll also encounter the first ward of slow time, which will really help with missing your shots in slow motion. Next to that, it's a great way to avoid incoming damage or to dispose of enemies before they even realize what happened. Remember, prevention is better than curing. The second ward of power is in Hag's End. Before you can get here, you have to clear the dungeon Deepwood Redoubt, after which you'll have to follow a hag around who summons spiders at the end of the dungeon. Thinking I could outsmart the stupid bitch? I used Command Animal to persuade their spiders to join me. They started eating Faendal, however, who died from his injuries shortly after. I decided to honor his memory by giving him a Wood Elf burial. The third word of power of Slow Time can be unlocked in Labyrinthian. For now, we'll be skipping this, as we either have to progress really far into the Mage's College, or do the dungeon in reverse by clipping out of bounds, which is so specific and tedious, it's beyond the scope of this video and I really need that retention. Now that we have our foundation sorted, let's start with building our skills. The best way to go about this is by joining the companions. Not only does this questline have plenty of combat, when you become the leader of the companions, you'll be able to have followers that can train you in heavy armor and archery. You'll also unlock my homie Jorland Greymane as a smithing trainer. Now at some point you'll reach level 70 archery. This is where the magic happens. Because at level 70 you can unlock the perk Quick Shot, meaning you can draw a bow 30% faster, and this stacks with the Zephyr buff. And this is the closest you can get to firing an automatic machine gun in Skyrim. But the higher your rate of fire, the faster you'll burn through your arrows. To remedy this, we engage in a little thievery. If we join the Thieves Guild, we'll have to pull off a little scheme which will get us an invitation into the cistern. It is here that there's a guy shooting some arrows at a target. If we steal his arrow supply and replace it with one of our own, he'll shoot the arrow type that we've given him on the target forever. Now that we're in Riften, we can do the Book of Love quest, which will give us an increase in magic resistance by 15% forever. If we then make our way to the keep, we can buy the Mage Light spell from the wizard. We can use this spell at the Solitude front gate. If we use this at this part of the mountain, we'll get an insane amount of alteration XP, which can be used to unlock quite a few alteration perks that really help with your survivability. Now we're getting somewhere. Unkillable, stacked with arrows, and a machine gun. But mediocre, I hear you cry.
If the Zephyr's a dwarven bow, won't it be outclassed by other bows quite quickly?
Yes, which is why we need to play to its strength. Just like in chess, always play the part of the board where you have advantage. We can improve the Zephyr by reaching level 60 in smithing and unlocking Arcane Blacksmith. If we supplement that with Dwarven Smithing, we'll up our damage by quite a bit, but not enough. If we look at this logically, the higher your rate of fire, the faster you can apply adverse effects to the puny little bodies of your enemies. This is where the Alchemy skill tree comes in. So, go to any of the halls that let you build your own house and get building. Once you buy a house, you'll get enough materials from the starter kit to build a garden. It is here you can plant your own ingredients for alchemy, if you already have one copy. These ingredients will grow in 3 days time, so you can just wait it out if you want to level alchemy fast. For this build, these are the recipes that are worthwhile. I highly recommend binding your potions and poisons to hotkeys in your favorites, so that you can apply them without breaking the flow of combat. In the late game, you can supplement your armor with smithing and enchanting and take the Lord Stone to get that last little bit of resistance to avoid the risk of death. Now, let's go over our perks. Let's start with the fundamentals of the archery tree. Just get everything. 5 points into Overdraw will double the damage of your bow and arrows. At level 30, you can invest 1 point into Eagle Eye and the first rank of Critical Shot. Eagle Eye will improve your accuracy, while Critical Shot raises your DPS. At level 40, you can pick the first rank of Steady Hand. When you use the Slow Time Shout, keep in mind that you cannot zoom in with a bow. The Steady Hand perk does an adequate job of replicating this effect though, increasing your DPS as well as your survivability by making you that bit more mobile. 1 point in Power Shot at level 50 will make it so that enemies that are normal size stagger half of the time. Hunter's Discipline at level 50 makes you recover twice as many arrows from dead bodies. While this is nice, what it unlocks is even better, because at level 60 you can pick the Ranger perk. This will allow you to move faster with a bow drawn. And speaking of drawing bows, this can be done 30% faster when you unlock the Quick Shot at level 70. What are we supposed to do with that high rate of fire? The answer is Bullseye at level 100, which has a small chance to dip your arrows in roofies. So to recap, investing in the archery skill tree not only increases your damage, but also gives you some options for more mobility, allowing us to steer clear of that stealth archer shit. Next skill tree we'll be looking at is the heavy armor one. At the end of this build, you should have 3 points into Juggernaut. Maxing it out is not needed because at some point you'll reach the self soft armor cap. Well fitted at level 30 gives 25% extra armor if all armor you're wearing is heavy. Additionally, at level 30 you'll unlock Fist of Steel. Great option if you want to be conservative with your arrow count. Tower of Strength is a must for tank builds, even if you do get hit, you'll stagger less. Cushioned keeps your kneecaps intact when you fall. Doesn't really do that much, but it unlocks conditioning at level 70, making you even more mobile. A matching set awards 25% extra armor rating if you color code your outfit. That's gonna do it for the heavy armor skill tree. The next one is smithing. If you don't want to min-max this build, you can get away with 3 points. Steelsmithing as the base perk, Dwarven Smithing at level 30, and Arcane Blacksmith at level 60. If you want to get the most out of this build, the Dragonbone arrow can be crafted at 100 smithing. This arrow has the highest base damage in the game. Next to that, it's easier to reach the armor cap with higher tiered heavy armor. The next skill tree is Alchemy. 5 ranks in Alchemist doubles the effectiveness of any and all concoctions. Position at level 20 really helps you stay alive with alternative healthcare. Benefect at level 30 will help you out when making buffs, and Poisoner really helps with making debuffs. When we're on the subject of debuffs, Concentrated Poison at level 60 gives you more bang for your buck. Green Thumb at level 70 is optional, but it really helps with keeping your supplies in check. At level 80, you can select Snake Blood for 50% resistance to all poisons. Purity at level 100 can be chosen, but it's the ultimate perk of the Alchemy skill tree and therefore quite hard to attain. What's more beneficial is investing in the Enchanting skill tree. This skill tree basically looks the same in all of my build guides, and this one is no different. The Zephyr already has an enchantment, so it cannot be enchanted further. Keep in mind that certain armor pieces and accessories can only host certain enchantments. From what I understood, incoming damage works basically like this. Some of this can be achieved with enchanting, but we can also look at the alteration skill tree. We invest 3 in the Novice alteration, Apprentice alteration and Adept alteration. We then put 3 points in magic resistance. The last rank will unlock at level 70. What also unlocks at level 70 is Stability. This perk increases alteration effects by 50%. For some reason,
increases
this includes the
absorption
slow
by
time
30%,
shout, as well as the paralysis effect of Bullseye. No one's gonna be able to touch you, and even if they do, you won't feel a thing. We can pick the Atronach at level 100. This can be further supplemented with the Atronach Stone, meaning that we have 80% chance to fully absorb any and all magic attacks. And that's gonna do it for the perks. So this build will give you a mobile archer that does a great job of staying away from incoming damage. If you happen to do take damage though, you'll survive it easily. And that's how to make the best tank build in Skyrim. If you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like and a subscription? If I missed anything or you have anything to add, keep it to yourself, motherfucker.